My name is Tiffany Johnson, and welcome to the Top Tier Childcare Podcast. After being in childcare for many years and having my own successful business, I want to show you what it takes to be top tier. This year, so far, we have had a lot going on.
Absolutely.
Between January and June, we have been literally on go, tired, all of the above. So what do you feel like, what's, I guess, the biggest reward that we have had in between these particular times where we've been all gas, no brakes?
The biggest award for me is the outcome after the fact. Because going through the trenches and being so tired, we be like, oh my God, what is the end result? What is the end result? But when we finally get to the end, we be like, oh, we did that.
We did that. Yeah.
So just the outcome, which is a little cliche, but you really don't think about it too much when you're in the moment. Like, you know what you got your mindset out to be for the outcome, but in the moment, you just pushing. And then when you're finished, you be like, oh yeah,
They came out real good.
It came together. So I think that's my biggest thing.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I think while we were in it, I really didn't even realize how fast the months had then went by because we were so laser focused on what we had to do. So the thing is, so I'm gonna go back so everybody can really know what
we talking about,
what the year so far has looked like. So we opened up one building in January. Furnished the building, put cameras in the building.
Yeah.
Inspections, new director for the building, just everything, going on adding things, taking away things, getting programs in place, like all of those things. We did that in January.
Right.
So we did that in January, knowing that the beginning of the year is always on go for us anyway, because it's time for us to renew policies. It's time for us to resign things. It's trying to make sure that everybody is put in place to receive new enrollment.
Right.
Because I always say for us, January and August is always our biggest month for enrollment. So we have to get prepared for all of that, because at the beginning of the year, everybody want new change. Everybody got a resolution. Okay?
Right.
So that was our January. It normally don't slow down for us until February, ish, shall I say?
Yeah,
towards the end of February, because that's when we got everybody in place. We're kind of good to go. But we needed to hire people with the company, with the buildings that we already had. Plus, we had the new building.
Right.
All right. So in the midst of all of that, we have clients for top tier. So we picked up new clients.
We did.
I think 2 or 3 new clients we ended up picking up in between time. And then I had made a promise.
We're not going to talk about this promise
that I made to everybody on the team, that we were not going to open up another school. So you guys, I lied.
I mean, yes.
I really didn't lie. You have to blame it on God. I didn't do this. So we ended up, I want to say it was March. Yes. So now we went from January, February, now we're in March. Our broker called and said, hey, listen, I got something. I looked at it. And it's crazy because when I actually seen the building, it was after we had left from one of our clients, facilities that's not here in Columbia. And we had already been on go because we had just picked up a new client. So we're trying to get her situated, trying to get her going. The next day I realized we got a new building on the horizon. This is in March. We are still on go. January, February, now we in March. So now, come on. It's time for us to get a new building. So I told Toya, let's take a trip.
And when you sent me that picture, I really thought it was an office space at first. I was driving. I was like, okay. And then I was like, hold on. This is school. Are we really about to do this?
Yeah.
We really about to do this.
Yeah, we're about to do this. So we started to prepare the end of March for it. April 1st, we got the keys. We were on go. Now, mind you guys, this is a building, to give you a little insight. This building is huge. It's one of the largest locations that we have. But the blessing in it was the fact that the building was fully furnished, and the childcare facility that was there prior to us taking over, they had just closed the month before.
Right.
So things were still pretty much clean. Of course, the building still needed some updating and stuff like that. So technically, how we work, and I believe 100%, even with our new clients that we have that's opening up facilities from beginning to the end, it takes about 6 to 8 months to really open up a childcare facility all the way, go through your inspections, get everything. If you have to go through renovations, ordering things, putting things together, it takes about 6 to 8 months. It's, and a lot of that is really waiting on the state, the city, wherever you are, to come in and finish their inspections and and clear you for those inspections. But the crazy part about it is for that building to be one of the largest locations that we have, and we had to do so much of the building, we got it done in 44 days.
Yes. We were tired.
We were 44 days. I have never in my life, even with my experience, opened up a building in 44 days. But before, now tell the truth, when we got it, I told you 45 days.
You said 45. You said.
I said 45 days.
And I looked at you like, Okay.
I literally said 45 days. So day 44, we got our license. Of course, we had the city that we're in. They were able to get us everything that we needed. DSS came through, got us our license. Of course, we passed all fire inspections. We were good to go. So in day 44, we were up and ready to go. So of course, in between that, we had to worry about hiring people. So it was a juggle between the new location that we had to spend so much time in, from literally sun up to sundown, and juggling the other centers that we currently have, and transitioning our old clients to transition out of our program. And we picked up 2 or 3 new clients still in between the time of us, between really March and now. We still picked up 2 more clients. So we're picking up clients, maintaining or trying to maintain what we currently have, and opening up a new location in 44 days. So if you want to know why we've been missing, that's why.
Boss, we tired.
Yes. We are drained. We definitely are tired, but it was definitely worth it at the end. Because even when we had our open house, and of course, like our broker that seen how it was, our business manager, the people that also would see the building prior to us, taking over, they were very surprised that we were able to knock this out in 44 days. And really, I'm talking about painting, putting things on the walls, ordering things, putting things together, taking things out, you name it, we did it. We got a camera system that we have to still put in. That's the only thing that's lacking at the moment. We had to do exit lights. We had to do, put in pull stations. So it's a lot of things that we had to do in a small amount of time.
Signage.
Yes, we had to do. And I was upset by that signage thing. I ain't gonna sit here and lie, because that sign should have been up prior to us even doing open house. But hey, I can say we made it. The sign is now up. Which is a good thing, so people can know that we're actually there. But in that time frame, this is literally from January into June. This is the things that we had to deal with, that we have been dealing with for that short period of time. And like I said, these are things that should have literally taken 6 to 8 months to do. But we did it. We made it. And it is time, even after this, for us to take an additional break, because we haven't had a break.
No.
It has literally been all gas. I mean, of course, we had things going on inside of the facilities. We have had director changes. We have had teacher changes. We have had, like I said, new families come in. So we still are trying to maintain what we currently have with the new things that we have going on. So that's us.
Yep.
But I'm proud of us for making it happen, because we have walked in that building and I think Quinn was able to capture that moment where we had to go to a conference.
Yeah.
And we were just exhausted. We left the conference, went to the building so we can try to finish the building up, and we just looked at each other.
Had no words other than
we're tired.
Because we had just done so much. Like, we had just moved all the stuff out, put back stuff in, we finished painting. It was very tiresome. And like you said, even though we were working in that facility, we still had to make sure everything else on the back end for the other buildings were running smoothly as possible. And that's a lot.
And keeping up with clients.
Yep.
On top of that, and what they need, and of course they call, because our clients do have full access to us when they are working with us. So we still have to pick up the phone for them. We still have to answer questions. We still have to answer emails for them. So we were really, just the both of us was everything for everybody for the year. Not even trying to think, that's not even including our own home and children
issues.
So it's like, oh my Lord, I am definitely stressed in. But like I said, on the back end of it, I'm definitely proud of us. The ship did not sink. So I'm very proud of the staff that we have and the management teams that we have that knew that we were in the trenches,
right?
And did not make sure the buildings burnt down. They are still there. The parents are still happy. Our clients are still happy with us. We did it. But it's very rewarding. I can say to be able to sit back and look at really the fruits of your labor, really, and see how it really turned out. Now moving forward, what do you feel like we can do differently once we get into another? Once it's time to go to another building, because we do have. We do have 2 more buildings coming available that we are, working on. But, we kind of pumping the brakes on it just a little bit, just a TT, not much, just to give us a time to go back and figure out the foundation and figure out what we need to do a little different. But what do you think is one of the most important things that we have to think about prior to jumping into another season?
I think delegating a lot of stuff. Like, so I joke about us being 2 women and a paintbrush.
We really do call us 2 women and a paintbrush.
I think like we were there a long time, like till like 11, 12 o'clock at night. We could have delegated somebody else to get in there, and then we could have started another task to make it flow a little bit, and we wouldn't have been so exhausted, I think.
Right.
Because that was us after having a full day at Success by Steps, and then stepping back into putting on paint gear and working till 12 o'clock. So I think we just need to think about delegating some of those things. Billing our team a little bit, far as getting other people in, helping us to move stuff. Because, a lot of times we're moving furniture, just me and you busting it down.
Yeah.
And just getting more people in, hands-on with us to minimize us being tired.
Yeah. I definitely 100% agree with that. But I also think that this here, like even when it was time for us to move furniture out, we realized that we probably need to break that down into 2 days. We literally gutted a building that's almost 6,000 square feet in one day.
One day, we did.
Which left us physically and mentally exhausted. So, but the great part about it is we were able to find the right people. So when you're in, a lot of people don't know this, but when you are in business and you're growing a company, you do need people that do different things. Whether it's someone that can, I'm gonna say oversee, the operations of who need to come in, who need to go out, electrician, contractors, someone who can put the furniture together, a painter, or whatever the case may be. So I am more realistic with things. Now the ones that's out there that is sitting on millions and can afford for somebody to come in and give you a budget of $50,000 and you can make it happen, great. Keep going, but I am more a realistic person, and everyone does not have the same budget, which is, why we I think that why we do our clients a great service, because regardless of what their budget is, we are able to accommodate and still get the job done. Now, of course, you know, if you have furniture that's already there and you like, hey, Tiffany and Toya, I can't afford to buy no more furniture. You know us, we're going to make it do what it do. Okay. Now, we have had clients that say, hey, listen, I got a budget of $60,000-$70,000. Great.
Let's order this new furniture.
Let's order this new furniture. Let's make sure we have all the components that you need. So I'm able to, and even when you start to grow a company, and you start making money, because of course we are a for-profit company, but even when you start making money, one thing that I remember my bishop saying a long time ago is sometimes you still have to go back to the basics,
right?
And that is how you end up spending more money, by doing things that you could have done. So I knew that we had just opened up one building. I also knew that we just opened up, we now we got this building. So it was not in the budget for us to go and pick up another location, because that was not in the meeting. That wasn't in the future plans for us to do so. Now, it was in the future plans for us to build, because we had purchased land for us to build a new facility. But for us to go and purchase a new building, that wasn't in the plan. So for me, I had to figure out, I had to go back to the basics and say, Tiffany, you remember when you had your first location and you was putting furniture together and you was painting and you was cleaning up and you was doing all those things? So I could have, that was a mentality that I had at the time. But by the building being so big, I underestimated a lot of things. So we end up stopped being two women in a paintbrush, and we end up hiring a painter, which is not something that, we currently had at the time, because we did have a contractor, but we no longer have that same contractor. So we had to get people in that could do certain things for us. But now, we have those people there. And again, you may start off working with someone when you first build your company, but as you grow, you may realize that you can't use that person anymore, or you can't use that company anymore. So it will just allow us to really put the right people on the team when it comes down to us opening up another school. Now we know who to call when it's time to move furniture.
Absolutely.
Now we know who to call that won't, hit us over the head, and paint the building. Now we know who we can call to, well, we already had somebody put our furniture together, which was, not a big deal. We always had that. So certain things that we already had that we still called those people in, but it's also things that we didn't have that is like, wait a minute, we are tiring ourselves out by doing this. So we need to get someone in that can do these things, and we did. So now we have, I think going forward, we have, I think, the right people, and the fact that we now have a business manager, he's able to delegate and check on those things, to make sure things are getting done. Because us, we run around all day. So if we call somebody and say, hey, can you go to the center to make it happen? The only thing I'm doing is calling the CFO and say, hey, this is how much it is. Can you cut the man a check and call it a day? But we didn't have the time to go back and even make sure that the work is being done or done properly. Same thing with the signage. We didn't delegate that.
We didn't.
That was something that if we would have, gave it to our now business manager, he would have been on top of it. He would have made sure that it was done.
He could have pushed it faster through.
Right. So it's a few things, but it would have been very impactful for us to have those little things in place to be able to move forward. So even with us knowing that we're going into another location soon, even with the furniture, we are able now to plan to get certain furniture, or say, hey, listen, we ordered this. I like that one that we ordered, not so much. So I think we're going into the next building will be a lot smoother, because we have every single component that we need to be able to delegate.
Right.
Like even this morning with the whole maintenance thing, hey, y'all know who to call.
Right.
And I think going into that, you know who to call, you know exactly what we need, just make it happen. So we don't have to be so, bogged down in it like that. On the back end, of course, we come in, we put the furniture where it need to be, put stuff on the wall, all those kind of good things. I think that is necessary. But I think we got it. For the most part.
Of course.
I think we got it.
44 days we have it. Of course.
Yeah, we had it regardless. Now, listen, you ain't gonna pay back us in a wall and think we ain't got it, because we gonna come out swinging.
We gonna come out.
And it's gonna look good.
Yeah.
While we do it, now we're gonna be tired, but we got it.
Gonna look good.
Listen,
we may have bags.
Bags all under our eyes, okay? Not sleeping, not eating. It's just, yeah. Now I don't recommend that to nobody.
Yeah, no.
But I get to a point where I'm all gas, no brakes. And anyone that's around me, I push us, to the limit, just to see how strong we really are. And this year really showed us really how strong we are, because any other time I really can't say we was pushed to see how strong we were, because we didn't have as many schools, and then we didn't have as many clients. So we are just on go.
Absolutely.
But now we're able to kind of settle down a little bit and figure out what's what. But anyone that wants to do what we're doing, open up a new school, or even if it's another business venture that they want to choose, I think delegating and making sure that you have the right people on your team is necessary. So you'll be able to take that time to focus on what you need to focus on. So, everyone knows that I'm taking the month of July off, and it's because now I need to figure out the foundation.
Yeah.
Now I need to figure out. Now I know the foundation works because we're still here. 8 years later, we're still here, and we're still growing, and we're still doing well. The consulting firm is doing amazing. But I still have to go back as the leader, as the head, and as the visionary to say, hey, listen, what can we do a little bit? What is working? What's working? What's not working? Where do we need to add something? Where do we need to take something from? Because, we just made a transition in the company last week, I think it was. And even with us making that transition, it's still not set in stone. So we have to find the time, because sometimes you don't want to be so on go that you miss out on the little small signs,
right?
Because those little small signs of something need to change can turn into big signs and can end
snowball.
Yes, it can be a snowball effect, and now you got something big on your hand that you need to handle. So I don't ever want us to get to that point. So now that we have taken so much time and pouring into our clients, the buildings, making sure they're good to go, now we need to step back a little bit for us to make sure that what we're doing, what we know is working. But like I said, just tweak it a little bit for the upcoming year or for the rest of the year to make sure that we are able to continue to grow. Right. Because, we start off with 1. Now we at 5.
Yeah.
About to work on number 6. So what worked at number 1
is not
number
necessarily gonna work at.
That don't mean it's gonna work at number 6. Or collectively now, because we had to figure out who we need to bring on to the corporate office to make sure they're able to handle what need to be handled. Because we can't handle it, just me and you. It's too much. And once I told you, once we brought on the CFO for the company, that was the first time I can actually say I was able to sleep without being so restless at night.
Because what happened was we recognized the cracks in the foundation. We recognized where it was in a shifting a little bit. So we had to step back and say, hold on, let's reevaluate this. Let's bring people on to the team to make the foundation sturdy. Sometimes we get so busy in making it work and reaching the goal, we just run past the cracks. And you have to make that time to see where the cracks are, because no business is perfect. No goal plan is perfect. There are going to be cracks, but if you don't stop and say, hold on, something is not right. If you don't take the time to say it's shifting a little bit. And I think that's what we did. When we felt it shifting, we knew we need to bring in a CFO. We need to bring in the Mr. Tony to help us. And it's just going to make the path to our goal stronger.
Yeah. Because, and before we jump to something else, the backstory, even with our CFO, so I was not able... I'm horrible with receipts. Everybody know that. Listen,
horrible.
Don't ask me about no receipt. I swipe the card and I keep it pushing, okay? But everyone in the company had a card as well. So it was certain things like, paying the bills or paying attention to invoices that I was still working in the business, that I didn't have time to check invoices or making sure that this person isn't overcharging us. When we came on when my CFO came onto the company, instantly she was able to realize that we were paying almost double. She came onto the company it was like at the end of the year, and we realized that we had missed out on thousands of dollars. I'm not talking about 5, 10,000.
Thousands.
I'm talking about $20, $30, $40,000 that we had missed out on that year. And it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And it was because of those cracks. And I think that I already knew that I needed to delegate, but I have a really hard time with trusting people. Especially with the company's money. So I knew that she would never take anything from me.
Right.
I knew that she was going to add before she subtracted. And I knew that she was very thorough. She's going to make sure.
Very thorough.
She's very thorough. She's not going nothing cannot be a penny off.
God. Not even a penny.
Not a penny, because she want to know why your calculations are not her calculations, and she want to know what that penny is, and that penny better make it to the bank by the end of the day.
Right.
And that's what we needed. I wasn't able to put that much time into making sure that we were good in that area, but I knew, like you said, we knew that it was a crack somewhere. Yeah. We knew it, and like I said, it wouldn't even allow me to sleep because I knew it was a crack somewhere, and I was calling you to I can't sleep.
Like, his account's not right. Something ain't right.
Yeah, something ain't right. Like I cannot sleep. And once she came on, and like I said, it was a eye opener for me to realize how much money we were losing, and how much things was falling out the door. But she got it. So she got everybody in the chokehold in the business now, honey.
Listen.
Everybody know, don't play with her.
When I see that number, I be like, who ain't took a deposit to the bank? Or who didn't turn in a receipt? To the T. And I appreciate her doing it because it makes us good stewards of what God has given us and keeping a track of not just letting money just fly. Because listen, we're in an economy that we need every penny to make not even just a few our pockets, but to make sure we are giving quality care to children.
Right. And we're able to take what we have been given to put back out, because we pour so much back into the centers and back into our families and our children, everybody. So we have to be sure that everything is accounted for. It's necessary. And as you grow in business, so like now we at a point where, like I said, we continuing to grow. So now, believe it or not, we have floated this company the last 8 years off of no bank.
Yeah.
We it's been God has been the bank. So this year is the first year that we have went to the bank and said, hey, listen, this is what our plan is. We're trying to do this, we're trying to do that. How can you help us? But literally all of this expanding has been just by what we have in the bank, not because we went to the bank. And that's the grace of God, right? By itself. And I'm very transparent. I do not have the best credit score, okay?
Right.
I have the same struggles as everybody else. Okay. Your bills are due like my bills do. My car note due just like your car notes do. I don't do anything no different from anybody else. I live the same way as everyone else. I have the same struggles as everyone else. So just me making sure that she's there. I don't know. It has made a world of difference, and it's allowed us to be able or put us in position where we are able to go to the bank, because now we're talking about expanding and building and all those kind of great wonderful things. But if I did not have her there, and she's so organized, to the T,
you better not put a paper clip out of spot on her desk, because she's gonna know.
She's gonna know. But it set us up to be able to just completely take off. So with her being our CFO, then we have our CPA, and on top of that we have our business manager. So we have like 3 people that is over our finances, and to make sure that we are able to take off in the way that we are trying to take off. And it's just necessary. So you even with this new building and this new journey, you guys, I tried to keep it from her, because I told you
did.
I did, but I couldn't. Somebody told me, you gotta tell her. You gotta tell her. I said, I don't want to tell her.
My reaction was, how you gonna keep it from her? Like, I don't know how to not tell her that we about to do this.
Because I knew, when I tell you guys, like, she the best CFO I've ever seen in my life, and she counts every brown penny, and it's like that was never a discussion for us to do so.
No.
So, and I knew if I went to and told her about this new building,
you already know she was gonna say absolutely not.
Yeah, who
and where and how? Like,
what was you thinking?
Not now.
We ain't doing this, and I didn't want that reaction because I knew this is what I was going to do anyway. But I did. I tried to keep it from her. I think I kept it from her for maybe a good 2 weeks.
Maybe.
And then, like I said, somebody in this room, you can't take it. You got to tell her. So I did tell her. She did not panic as much as I thought that she would. But it put her at ease once she saw the saw the building. And once she saw the building and realized like exactly, she's seen the vision.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, well, let me move this around. Let me do this. You got this, much to do this with. How much, of course, did she want to see the contract?
Yeah.
Did she want to see what's what, what we're doing, how much money we need? And we made it happen. And she was still at ease, which I ain't gonna lie, it surprised me. I thought for sure she was
gonna take our head off.
Listen,
yeah, really.
I completely thought that she was going to be mad for about a week. But she wasn't. She was like, okay, I see it. I see the vision. Let's make it happen. Just that adjustment. But we need that. We need someone as you are growing to try to keep you on track. But she still kept us on track. The business was still able to flow as they needed to flow. No one still went lacking, in the process. But having that person there to say, okay, listen, you have this amount of money to do whatever you need, whatever you need to do. Make it happen according to the contract. You need X amount of money. We're gonna make that happen over here for that. I got it to the side. This is what you got to do the rest. And we made it happen.
Yeah.
We made it happen. So that's what I think that our next building I won't keep it from her.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna tell her.
Yeah.
I think I kind of already told her. Well, I already did.
I think you already told her because I think she was expecting that other one, but this one, no one was expecting. Nobody. No. Nope.
That was out of the blue.
Yeah.
But I did tell. When we had our meeting, I did tell everybody about the next two schools.
The next ones.
So she's not in shock. So now they're able to prepare for what's next and what's coming. Which is like I said, which is really a good thing. As a CEO, yes, you have the opportunity to do whatever you want to do, but you need a team to keep you in line. Because every decision that I wanted to make was not going to be a good decision. I have been stopped by you guys. You like, Tiffany, absolutely not. And they also know things decisions that I make. I don't make decisions without, I always consult with God. I always tell you guys that. Like, I always say, listen, God, listen, if this for us, let me know. If it ain't, I'm cool with it. So when I present things to you guys, I think that y'all have seen God work, based on the decisions that we have made, and He has made it work. That now you guys kind of trust. Well, y'all do trust, when I say let's ride. And other things y'all tell me absolutely not. You extra, we're not doing that. But I do think that it was definitely beneficial. I even though we were tired during January through June, like I said, looking back at it, I think it was worth it.
It definitely was.
It was worth it. But doing it, you guys, like I said, if this is something that you want to do, expanding your business, or like I said, going into another business, because of course, we have our preschools, and then we also have a consulting firm. You just have to be able to have that balance, and having the right people on the team to make it happen. Because some people are gifted in more than one area. Sometimes God calls you to do more than one thing, and it's possible to do. But you just have to make sure you have the right people in place. Because don't kill yourself trying to do it. Because I definitely feel like I almost took myself out a few times trying to do this. And that's not healthy. It's not healthy to do. But that's just, I guess, my work ethic that I have in me. But going forward, we know what to do, what not to do, who to call, who don't call that person. To make it happen. So I'm proud of us, and we did it, and we made it, and we're back.
Yeah.
We
Rocking and rolling.
Yes, we still gonna take our break in July.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
We still need it.
Yeah, so we can, look at some good water, refresh ourselves and lay back for a second and allow God to download on us what's next. And we are excited for the second part of the year because we have some new things still coming up. That we make it happen, but we want to always give everybody and everything that we do 100% of us. But we can't give 100% of ourselves if we're not at 100%. We can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
So we have to take this time and refill us, so we'll be able to give everyone else the overflow that we have. So absolutely. I appreciate you, for doing this because we love doing it. We do love doing it because that's why we're two women in a paintbrush.
Two women in a paintbrush.
But we ain't gonna be two women in a paintbrush no more. We're gonna give that to the painters now.
Right.
But we still have what it takes, and that also lets you guys know too that we are never too high, to not do what everyone else do. Whether we cleaning the toilets, whether we mopping the floor, vacuuming, putting up things on the walls, hiring people, printing out paperwork, doing tours. We still do it all every single day. We still drive the bus.
Yes. We still get on the bus. We'll be on there tomorrow. Matter of fact.
Right. We still do all of these things. So we still keep our hands in it, and we still show up every day in every capacity that's needed.
Yeah.
But you still have to pull back once you have been on a long, busy season like we have had. You still got to pull back and refuel yourself. So thank you for joining us for this episode of the Top Tier Childcare Podcast. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And if you have any questions, you may email us at info@btoptier.org.